said, yeah, and he sat down on this great big black grand piano and sang Hey Jude.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were the first people to hear Hey Jude.
Mm. And I mean, you've
Elton
also
John
been...
said, only a couple of years on telly, one of my happiest memories was when the Barron Knights introduced me to Lennon and McCartney over at studio.
Well, he's not done too...
Magic moment.
He's not done too shabbily for himself, as he say.
And what a lovely guy again, Elton John. You won't get a more generous, kinder man.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been lucky to perform at the Buckingham Palace on more than one occasion.
Yeah, Buckingham Palace was good, and Albert Hall a few times. Palladium, you know, it's such a happy memories, and we were so lucky. And I shall never, ever, you know, forget those wonderful moments and how grateful...
And I mean... I saw a quote, and I'm hoping this is true, because I say, as always, facts are very, you know, a very sort of thing. I saw a quote today, and it said, no other group in the world has sold more comedy records than you.
Yeah, that's right.
So how many have you actually sold?
Well, up to now, I've been told it's 11 million.
11 million?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, hopefully, before we kick the bucket, we might make 15 million.
That'd be very... Because I'm sure your albums are still selling... As we speak.
Yeah, we sell a lot on iTunes still, and because a lot of it's all downloaded these days.
Yeah, it is indeed.
People going to the shops and buy.
No.
Although vinyl is coming back big time.
Do you know what? I was discussing this the other week. I prefer vinyl in many ways because I'm one of these sad people who collect stuff, and I used to collect the sort of collectible vinyls. You know, like the pink discs and the orange discs and the pictures and all that business. I used to love all them.
Yeah.
And I still have a record player. It's attached to the back of my whatever you call it nowadays, stereo system, whatever you like to call it.
Yeah.
And I still love my vinyl. And there's a bit of... I always think that CDs are a little clinical.
Well, they are. They're a little bit, you know, high res. You know,
they're almost too...
You get this very trebly sound on CDs. So when you put a CD on in the car, you've got to find your bass and turn the bass parts up. Ringo has got a badge, and he wears it virtually everywhere he goes. The badge says, bring back vinyl.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of bands are releasing stuff back on vinyl, and I think it's... I like vinyl, I must admit I enjoy vinyl.
Yeah. Well, there's shops now that sell nothing else but vinyl.
Yeah, I think there's one just opened fairly recently, locally, I think.
Really?
Yeah, so I've heard. I can't remember where it is. It's somewhere in our area, in the Hearts, Beds and Bucks area.
Yeah, well, the first one I saw a couple of years ago was in Taunton.
Okay.
And it was fantastic. It was packed with every type of music.
Lovely.
There's a lot of people in there buying all the stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's... I miss vinyl, I really do, and... I mean, you did some TV work as well as the recording work. You did some TV work for Channel 4.
We had 3 one-hour shows for Channel 4.
Yeah.
They made number one in the ratings. They were Christmas shows, which they repeated at Easter.
Yeah.
So they were really good, and I mean that was hard work, but they were very successful. Thank goodness. You know.
And you had Barry Faulkner work with you then.
Who?
Barry Faulkner.
Barry Faulkner.
Yeah, he was the writer, wasn't he?
Barry Faulkner.
He wrote some of the sketches for you. He worked with the Grumbleweeds. Well, see, I may be wrong.
I don't recognise the name.
Okay, well, that's what I read. It was you put in Barry Faulkner, who was a comedy writer, but never mind. We won't go into that one.
I would never disagree with you.
No, well, I don't know. No,
ring the bell because we wrote a lot of the stuff.
No, okay, well, yeah, that's fine. Away from the music business, what do you like to do to relax, Pete?
To relax?
Yeah.
Well, I love walking. We do lovely country walks. We've got a lovely, big garden. We love gardening. My wife and I go to the Alps, and we walk in the Alps, actually. We used to go skiing a lot, but now we go walking there. We go to Austria, places like Kitzbühel and Innsbruck, and we walk up in the hills. We've just come back and done a couple of weeks there, and we were up at 6,500 feet every day.
Wow. So and it is lovely there, I must admit.
It keeps us pretty fit and strengthens the old muscles, makes you put on weight, but they are.
Well, that's the way it goes. I was shocked a few weeks ago, I had Brian on the show, and what he does, he goes boxing.
Does he?
I can't believe that. And he wasn't. I thought at first he was winding me up, but he wasn't. He was telling me the truth. He goes boxing, so I'm never surprised now what people tell me. So that's always good. Is there? We spoke about the people you've worked with and that. Is there anybody you'd like to have worked with, or you look upon as a musical hero?
I think I would have loved to have been involved with the Eagles.
Oh, yeah?
Because they're all great singers and great musicians.
Yeah.
And I think once you're amongst that, it just makes you sort of inspired to write with the same style, the same quality of lyric, the same quality of music. The other person I've always admired, because not only his voice is great, but he is a great songwriter, is Kenny Loggins.
Oh, yeah.
I think Kenny Loggins is one of the first, I remember one of the first albums I bought that I loved was Loggins and Messina. Kenny Loggins, I'm a great fan of. I've got lots and lots of his stuff, and I've got a live album of his, which is great, and he sings live as good as he does in the studio. And I would love to have gone to California and seen him sing. The album I've got is Loggins in the Redwoods, and I just love to have been there.
So
he had Michael McDonald with him.
Oh,
What a Fool Believes.
He was with the Doobie Brothers, and I've also seen him. I've actually seen him since live, and he is an amazing singer. He was supporting Tina Turner.
Oh, I was at that show
over in Woburn.
At Woburn.
Yeah, with Was Not Was.
McDonald. He opened up the show.
That's right. He was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. That's great. So there's no chance you parodying Hotel California then?
No, I don't think so. It's too good a song.
You were talking earlier about the classic songs, and that is one of those classic songs.
Amazing.
And it's one of those songs you hear it, and even me, it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end.
Well, they reckon the guitar solo is the #1 guitar solo ever.
Really? I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised.
It's a great guitar solo. It's tough to play with that feel,
I believe you. I'm not a musician, not a singer, as most of my friends know, and most of the listeners know. I never sing on the show, and I will not be playing on the show. We probably touched on this a little while ago. Have you got any sort of unfulfilled ambitions?
I would like to do a lot more writing. I've got my own recording studio, and I do write a lot of songs, and I also write for people. Say, for instance, it's their girlfriend's birthday, or they're going to get married or something. If they want a song, I'll write a song for them, as long as they give me the information.
Okay.
And I just call it A Song for You. But I'd love to write a really classic song that becomes a big hit. That would be my ambition. You know that lovely song, Close Your Eyes, give me your hand, darling, don't you think my heart is reeling? Yeah. I would love to write a song like that.
Something like that. Something that everybody remembers, or something like Stevie Wonder, I've just called to say I love you. That's another one that I think everybody remembers.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs.
Yeah.
So what would you say, we've spoken about working with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, what would you say the highlight of your career has been so far?
I think it's always a highlight when, you've written something and you get the phone call from the record companies to say you're in the hit parade.
Yeah.
That is a highlight. When you've been unknown for 4 or 5 years wanting a hit record, and you get that phone call and you're in the hit parade, and then it goes up the charts, it goes up from 28 to 15 to 3, and you think, oh God, we're going to be #1. And that is a great highlight. And we had a gap of about 5 or 6 years where we didn't have a hit from 71 till 77. And CBS signed us, and they decided they wanted to release a demo. And I said, no, it's a demo, we got to remake it. They said, no, the atmosphere on it is so good, we want to release it as it is. And it sold 1.5 million records.
Wow.
The demo cost us £175, and it was recorded at Wellingborough Studios.
Okay, yeah.
That was called Live in Trouble.
That's right, and that was quite a big hit for you, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a massive hit.
Let's have a quick look. I've got it here somewhere. It went to #7 in 1977.
#7?
Yeah, #7.
Oh, I thought it went to #3.
Oh, did it? Well, as I say, my information, I think Taste of Aggro went to #3.
Ah, that's right. Taste of Aggro was big, yeah.
Yeah. And now, you've also written a book called Once a Night.
Yep.
And details the history of the Barron Knights. We've just sort of sketched a little bit about it today. So if anybody's really interested in finding out a little bit more about the Barron Knights, they can buy this book from you.
Well,
not from you,
I haven't got any left now. It came out in hardback, and I think the only place you can get it now is on eBay.
On eBay? Well, that's a shame, isn't it? Because I must admit, I did have a quick look, see if I could get one, because I thought, well, it's quite interesting to find out about people. I'm quite a nosy devil in many ways, and I like to find out about people. And it's always if you get hold of the book, you can always have a quick look through and see if there's any stories, great stories in there. And of course, a man of been around for 55 years in the music business, I'm sure there's some great stories there.
Yeah, well...
Some that could get us into trouble. So
yeah, there are some good stories, and I've got nobody into trouble. It's all true, and there's nice pictures in there with us,
Lovely.
the Beatles and whoever we're touring with. And we had a lot of fun, and it's just nice that everybody can read about the history of the band, you know. It's really, really good.
I think it'd be a nice read, actually. I might see if I might go on that eBay site and see if I can find one.
Well, there was one or two, because I actually had a look myself once. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's one or two people that have got the book that haven't given me it back yet.
I'll see if I can get it. You also run a company now called Templar Entertainment.
Well, Templar has been the agency that handles the Barron Knights, and I've used it for booking, you know, other acts in different parts of the world.
Okay.
You know, I had Simply Red in Dubai. I toured the Searchers in Australia.
Wow.
And booked a lot of the 60s bands and quite a load of names.
People still like to see the 60s, 70s and 80s, and all this sort of rewind and you know, solid gold 60s tours are really big, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah.
But let's tell everybody where they can see you locally. It's only I had a quick look, and you're not coming back to the area. And I looked in 2016, and at the moment there's no dates booked in the area. So if you want to come and see the Barron Knights, you've got one chance this year, and maybe next year if you can squeeze one in. And you're at the stables in Wavendon. Yep. And it's Sunday the 29th of November.
That's the one.
And you'll be on stage. What, a couple of hours?
Oh yeah.
Giving it some. So anybody who wants a great laugh, listen to some great musicians, having a laugh, enjoying themselves, go along to the stables Sunday the 29th of November. It's a great venue. Anybody who doesn't know the stables, who's never been to the stables, it's one of the great music venues. It really is a classic music venue. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Pete. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay, Terry, all the best and keep smiling.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
There was a boy who had a dare to wear a ribbon in his hair. He put war paint across his nose, and in assembly he used to pose. The head, he said, "You're a pest. You're gonna get 6 on the test."
Don't you ever let me catch you smoking round the bike sheds. Don't be clever. Come to my study, just put out your hands, son. Come on in, just come in. 6 with the rule is nothing to be scared of. Don't you ever do that again, or you will be expelled, son.
School days, there's nothing like school days. I'm a devil when I'm at school. I think I've broken every rule. Standing up or sitting down. In my class I was the clown. Got expelled from the lower fifth, along with the boy whose name was Cliff.